The other thing that I wanted to say is I have 3 dogs in my household currently, so there's a good chance one or all of them will be around at some point. Hopefully, we can make it through without them deciding to hump each other in the background, which they like to do every single time I get on Zoom. So, fingers crossed that you all don't have to watch my dogs hump each other in the background. And then this is the newest creature. Her name is Honey. She's my brother's foster dog that turns out has some attachment issues. That I wasn't planning on her being here. He literally just came over like 2 minutes ago and was like, "Hey, can you watch my dog?" and then left. So love that for me. Anyways, okay, it is a little bit past our start time. Let me share my screen. Thank you so much for coming to this little sneak peek into how to not fuck up your shoulders pole dancing. My name is Dr. Emily Rausch. I am a certified chiropractic sports physician, which is a weird, long way of saying I'm a sports chiropractor that specializes in pole dancers. I've been pole dancing myself for just over 7 years. March was my 7-year pole anniversary. I have a wide range of educational background. I have 2 different bachelor's degrees, one in exercise and sports science, one in human biology. I have my master's degree in sports medicine, a doctorate in chiropractic, and then a postdoctorate in sports medicine as well. So if you have interacted with me in any capacity on Instagram, you'll know that I talk a lot about science and try to apply scientific concepts to pole dancing. I want to highlight this at the beginning of it because I've had some people go through my courses and they're like, "Oh, it's like really like heavy science based." And I'm like, "Yes, because you're taking a course from me." So if you're looking for something that is maybe more like artistic or like energetic based, I have other people that do really well in like that realm of pole dancing. We're talking about body movement, injuries. That's the realm that is my area of expertise. So a little bit into why I created this course. When people start pole dancing, a very typical journey that I have experienced all across the world, because I talk to pole dancers from like all over the globe on a regular basis. When someone starts pole dancing, they either like love it or hate it. And if they fall into the category where they love it, they tend to become very, very obsessed very, very quickly. Depending upon their movement background, they may or may not have the movement capacity that is going to apply to pole. For a lot of people, they don't. They come in after taking potentially a really long break in exercise or like standard exercise. They sign up for someone's like bachelorette party or because a friend dared them or they found a Groupon for it, ClassPass, whatever. And then they fall in love and they're like, I want to do this and I want to do this multiple times a week. There's sorry, let me go get this dog. I'll be right back. Okay. we're back. Hopefully we can have this one not scream cry in the background. So in most studios that I have experienced, there's little to no screening for capacity. There's little to no structure to the classes on like a week-to-week basis, let alone like a month-to-month basis. Most people at some point end up getting injured. 85% of pole dancers report being injured at some point during their pole journey. And this leads to them either going down the like physical therapy, eval, like rabbit hole and reevaluating their training, or they push through their injury, making it worse, or they end up quitting pole. It's like one of these three pathways that people tend to go down. And I really think that we could do something different. So something needs to change. I am in a unique position where I talk to pole dancers that are injured all across the world on a daily basis. An alarming trend has become apparent where pole dancers really don't understand how to structure their training, nor do a lot of instructors. This leads to people attempting tricks they aren't physically capable of, which often results in injury. And I very strongly believe that with more education and ways to apply proven like exercise science principles, we can significantly reduce the rate of injuries, really by being proactive rather than reactive. So that is one of the main reasons why I created this course, and my whole like how to not fuck up your body pole dancing series is the more you know about your body and about training principles, the smarter decisions you can make about what you're exposing your body to. So my biggest thing that I would love for you all to do is to not guess, but to assess what is going on in your body. We all have stuff that we need to work on, and actually take the time to work on what you have going on. I'm so sorry. We're gonna make it through. Hopefully this dog will be a little bit more quiet. So adding structure to your training is a way to help you progress both faster and more quickly. It is possible to recover from injuries, obviously, but it's so much better if we're thinking of like the longevity of your career to reduce your risk of being injured as much as we possibly can. We cannot make that ever be zero, but there's things that we know we can be proactive about that will help reduce our risk of injury. So my process with this is the AAA method, which is assess, address, and achieve. So we will be primarily focusing on the assess and the address portion during this course because it's only 6 weeks long. And a lot of times with body things, it takes longer than 6 weeks for us to really see results. Typically, like the minimum amount of time that I would want someone to work on something is 12 weeks, just with like how the different tissues in the body respond to things. So fully want to put that out there that this is going to be like the first step in your journey. So we'll be focusing on the assess and address portion, which is like your joint mobility, your strength, flexibility, motor control, your tissue's ability to lengthen and shorten, and then nerve tension. And then ultimately we're getting like decrease in pain, improvement in function, skill acquisition, being able to achieve your pole goals. So what is covered in the course? We're going to do shoulder assessments in flexion, extension, internal and external rotation, adduction and abduction, pushing and pulling. And if you were like, Emily, I don't know what any of those words mean, that's just fine. We're also going to cover what they are, kind of with the like meta goal of you being able to look at a pole move and say, oh, that uses extension and external rotation. So I know that my body is lacking in one of those movements. So maybe that trick is like not quite ready for, or I'm not quite ready for it, or I'm going to need a modification because I know my shoulders can't get into that position. With each assessment, you'll also be given exercises / drills to improve each one of the movements. And then each week we will be going over shoulder anatomy, biomechanics, its application to pole. And then if you have any questions about any of the materials at any point, we can cover questions as well. The Zoom meetings are every Tuesday, starting this Tuesday, May 17th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and will be roughly an hour long. yes, they'll be recorded. Yes, they'll have access to the recordings forever and ever. And then you'll also have access to all of the slides and the course material at the end of it as well. So what we won't be covering, because I feel like that is also an important thing. So if you know that you are injured currently, this is not my program that is for people that are injured. I have a one-on-one coaching program that's called the Pole Performance Program that is for that. And then do want to highlight that if you're doing an assessment or an exercise that is painful, that's like not ideal and not what we want to have happen. So you may find out that there are some things going on with your shoulder that would be beneficial for you to have assessed by someone not in a group program. We won't be going over any other shoulder assessments beyond what was listed in the previous slide or other body parts. So if you're, I don't know, questioning like, oh, I have an ankle something, or like, what about my hip mobility or hamstring, whatever, split stuff, I have a lower body course that will happen in the fall. And then we can also schedule like a one-on-one time with you if that's something you have going on. And then the last thing that we won't be covering is like specific trick breakdown. So if you're like, I want to know the biomechanics for like a bird of paradise, great, cool, love that for you, and also not going to be covered in this specific course. So how will the course actually run? It is through an app called TrueCoach, and I just realized this picture is really, really blurry, but that is a screenshot from the app's website. You can download it on your phone, you can use it on your laptop. A lot of people end up doing both, like they'll have their phone recording and then the course videos pulled up on a laptop. You can do the assessments and exercises whenever it works well for you. Each week we'll have a different like theme that we're highlighting, but if you're like, oh, I want to do it like after the Zoom meeting or before the Zoom meeting, like that doesn't really matter. Or if you want to do it at like 3 a.m. when you get off work or 5 a.m. when you wake up for work, like I don't really care when you do it. You have a lot of time freedom with that. And then feedback will be given on every assessment that you submit, and then the exercises and drills where form tweaks are needed. So here is the back end of 1 week. So this is all of your flexion assessments, and then there are 2 days where there are exercises that are geared towards addressing flexion limitations. Like I said, you can do them on whatever days work well for you. I just have to like pick days on the back end for them to go. And you'll notice that there are a lot of exercises. To be honest with you, I'm still debating how many I want to put on for each day because I don't want it to be overwhelming where you're like, oh my God, I have like 18 exercises to do today. And that's going to be like the rate limiting factor for you to actually want to do this stuff. But I want to give you as many options as I can so that if you're like, I don't really feel this one, I have something else that I can try. So a balance with that one. And then the process of the course each week would be for you to watch the assessment or exercise video, film yourself doing either the assessment or the exercise. And then if you want feedback, you can upload it to the TrueCoach app, and I will give you feedback once I get the notification that you've completed the workout, watch the videos, and I go back and forth on written feedback or filming myself and being like, you're doing this, and I need you to do this so that you can see the difference. So some things I'm like, oh, I can write it out really easily in words. And then other times I'm like, oh, this is going to be a novel if I take the time to write out what I want you to do. So I'll just, pop a video of myself doing the exercise onto your profile. And then you have access to me through the app to ask questions about anything throughout the 6-week course. And then I have this is like the worst screen grab for YouTube to give, but a video. I'm not sure if you all, can you let me know if you can hear this? No, okay. I wasn't sure if it was actually going to work. So if you all want to go over how to do this assessment really quick, kind of give an example of it, we can. We will need a blank wall like I'm sitting up against in the video, or we can skip going over an assessment really quick. Does people have strong feelings one way or another? No? Okay, well, maybe I'll throw this up on my story. So if you want to watch it and like do it, then you can have the example video with words because I am talking during it. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this video play. I love technology. Equipment that is needed for the course is listed out here. So it's a wall, a foam roller, a yoga block. 2 would be great, but at least 1, a looped mini band, and then I call them a floppy band. They're like a typical like TheraBand where they're like super thin material, and if you like wiggle them, they're like super floppy. A dowel or a broomstick or some sort of like stick-like object, a chair or a bench, a light and heavy power band, which are the thicker bands they tend to be in a loop, but they're not like super floppy where you could rip them. And then once again, I can like throw links of these with the differences into my stories as well. A lighter weight for accessory movements, and I don't have specific weights lifted or listed because light for me could be different than light for you. Heavy for me could be different than heavy for you. So if I were to say, I want you to start with a 30-pound weight, for an example, and you need to start at a 10-pound weight, that's going to be chaotic for your body. And the goal is to not have you fuck up your shoulders broadly, and then especially in this course. So typically just to like give you kind of a starting point for the lighter one, like 5-ish pounds, and I'm not sure what that is in kilograms. Sorry for my not pound people. And then heavy, 10 plus pounds. We're going to be doing like rows and like overhead presses. So you are throwing your body weight around pole dancing. So would encourage you to think of that, not being like, oh, I want you to grab like a 100-pound dumbbell and start like hefting it around, but something in 5, 10, 15-ish pounds, maybe up to like 30 for some of you that maybe have been lifting on a regular basis. And then to kind of wrap up, this course is everything that I wish I knew when I first started pole dancing. There's I don't know how long you all have been following me, but I have injured my shoulder pretty significantly by not being smart about how I was training. And it was really, really challenging for me to get back to a level where I feel like pretty confident doing stuff with my shoulder. So I don't want that journey for everyone because it was really long. There were a lot of tears, a lot of frustration. At one point I thought I was going to have to quit pole dancing completely, and I had an identity crisis, and it was not a fun time. So if we can skip that for you, would love to have that. And I really felt like I was missing the mark with waiting for people to get injured and then being like, hey, actually, we can do stuff completely different. Like I was being more reactive than proactive with how I was choosing to share information. So lumping it into this course is why, or I guess it's kind of like the why. I'm like, I'm going to give you everything that I wish I knew, that I wish all of my injured clients knew about their shoulders, so that you can not like hopefully not be injured. So broadly is how to reduce your risk of injury through self-assessments, and then specific exercises and drills to address different movement patterns and set you on the path to achieving your pole goals. Sorry, starts tomorrow. Enrollment's going to end tomorrow. I decided to extend it one day because this was happening today. So you'll have till midnight the 5th. Once again, I'm in the USA, so we're on the 4th today to enroll. And then our first Zoom meeting is on Tuesday, the 7th at 2 p.m. And then cost is usually the thing that people have like questions about. So I went through and added up, like if I were to sell this course at my typical rate, I would charge like just over $2,500 with like the 6 hours of Zoom and then 6 weeks of programming based on my like hourly rate and the programming costs that I have for my other programs, $2,500. And I'm having this course only be $299. So you are saving a lot of money, getting a lot of information, and a lot of benefit from it if it's something you choose to enroll in. Does anyone have any questions? I apologize for my dog having the loudness happen in the background. Like I've said multiple times, these dogs stay plotting against me, and now I have a third one that is plotting against me as well. So if you have any questions about Honey, about anything that we covered or about the course that I didn't cover today, please feel free to reach out via Instagram or via email, and I would be happy to let you or answer whatever questions you have. And then enrollment, ends tomorrow, and you can find the link to sign up in my bio on Instagram. Cool. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate you all popping on. Yeah, okay, I'll let you go. I'll stay here if anybody has any questions that they want to ask. And if not, then feel free to leave and have a wonderful Saturday/Sunday. Thank you.